How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Common Roots Brewing. It's been a while since I've covered one of these guys' beers in the form of their Citra Session India Pale Ale. Yeah, it's been a while since I've reviewed some of these guys' beers, but I've did quite a few of them, and I've dug what I've had from these guys. Some of the earlier beers I had from them had this very large kind of new school New England kind of presence and a very crisp and clear kind of beer, which was kind of exciting for me. But last year they stumbled into a little bit of trouble. They actually had a big fire at their brewery around March of last year in 2019. And they just kept chugging along. I mean, they started contracting out of different locations, and they opened up a tap room down the street from their location, which is the tap room that is listed on this can. But as of like last week or so, their new facility is open. I don't know if they've opened like legit on the tap room because of COVID and whatnot, but yeah, definitely a brewery worth supporting. Having a fire destroy a facility like that is absolutely amazing. Nobody got hurt, which is probably the most important thing, but it's good to see them bounce back, even in this kind of climate of everything going on crazy. So we'll see what's what. I picked this up locally. It is a month old, which should be fine, I would hope. And like I said, it's a Citra Pale Ale, Session Pale Ale, coming exactly at 5% alcohol by volume. As far as that beer goes, I mean, it looks pretty nice, to be perfectly honest with you. Just this rich golden glow to it. A little bit more golden than that kind of turbid kind of hazy you'd come to expect from a lot of new school IPAs, whether it be session or otherwise. Label-wise, really nice. Very much summer. Very whimsical, very bright, very simple. I dig it. So yeah, she looks the part of a nice little pale ale. Let's see if we can get a nose. It smells like summer. It smells like Citra. And Citra smells like summer to me. It's this bright, vibrant, citrus gamut of flavors. Nose flavors. Copyright that one. Yeah, just like grapefruit to orange to even a little bit of lemon lime kind of thing going on there. A little bit of pineapple. And it's just very vibrant, very light. Smells like a chuggable light beer, which is what you want from your session beers. And there's a nice, soft, grassy bittering on the other end of things. Nothing too aggressive. That fruit definitely leads the way, but it's nice to have that grassy little bittering on the other side of things. Smells like it's going to give you a little pop of sweetness. Just kind of walk its way back. Hopefully finish a little bit dry. We'll see what's what. Cheers. Yeah. It didn't get quite as sweet as I thought it was going to be. I am not bitching and moaning about it whatsoever. It actually starts off as kind of a mid-level sweetness. Slowly drifts, like I said, into this rindy kind of grapefruity thing, and then finishes relatively dry. Makes you want to go back for more. There's a whole heaping amount of variance as far as the citrus fruits kind of go in this beer. And it was essentially everything I got on the nose, but in a much more undersweetened kind of underripened kind of thing in a very positive way, because one of the things that can really get missed in a lot of these kind of session beers is sweetness. I think that's probably the hardest thing to kind of get right. Not necessarily because it's going to ruin a session beer, but if it's a little bit too sweet, you'll acclimate to it if you drink a bunch of them. But I feel like you can session beers that tend to be on a little less sweet than a little bit oversweet, and that's where this one kind of lies. You get that multiple level. Again, your grapefruit, pineapple, orange to your lemon lime, probably in that order as far as prominence, but still kind of a medley of those fruits kind of floating around in there. That little bit of grassy, slightly biting kind of greenness throughout the whole thing. And like I said, you get that little bit of sweetness. It's not a pop of sweetness, but a little bit beginning and slowly just drifts down till it finishes relatively dry and as clean as you can be for one of these little bit of itty-bitty hazies. It's a really tasty beer. Listen, I picked this up. I think I paid $14 for a 4-pack. 5% Session IPA all day. I mean, this is up there for one of the better ones that I've had. And it's just a bit more impactful than what I typically get at this ABV level or lower, which is welcome. Because even when I deal with my session beers, whether it be your mid-3s to your 5, and I want to run through a session of beers, I do like there to be a kind of ebb and flow between the vibrance of all the beers. I just don't want one monotone kind of boo of just citrus or whatever if I'm dealing with session beers in a kind of hazy territory. This is giving me a little bit of a pop in a fruit way, but also in that kind of underripened kind of dry sense of the word, as opposed to just leaning into that sweetness. So it's a nice change of pace when it comes to this kind of beer. Tasty, chuggable, drink it. Let's put it this way. If I went to the brewery, they had a bunch of beers on draft, and this is the lowest ABV one, I'm probably drinking a couple pints of this while I sample a couple of other things. I dig it. I think it's absolutely delicious. Let's talk about it. As one of the better session low ABV hazies I've had as of late. Absolutely 100% worthy of the conversation. Might not be Mount Rushmore status for me, just because I think there's so many great ones out there nowadays, but it definitely wants to be up there, and it's deserving being up there. It's more so that there's so many really good ones nowadays. That's what prevents it from being tippy top. I guess that's kind of a backhanded compliment, but it is what it is. Value and availability, like I said, I think I paid $14 for a 4-pack. I'm okay with that price point. It seems to be the par for the course nowadays. And leave you with, if you like what will you like this beer, if you like low ABV session chuggers, I mean, this is going to do you all kinds of proper. Low ABV, impactful, drinkable. What more do you want? So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little session jam right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.